Hi everybody, it's Heidi with Downtown NorCal and it's wine time, Saturday night. So I am having a very nice bottle of Syrah. It's Hitching Post 2014 and I can't even remember where we got this, but it was sitting around just waiting to be had, and so that's what I'm having. Loving it. That's okay. I'm just talking to Darling. I should introduce you to my husband. His name is Darling. That's at least what I call him. So if I refer to Darling, that's who I'm talking to. So the game, as always, now or then, what am I wearing and why? And also back up to drinking. Tell me what you're drinking and why. I'm going to tell you that I'm wearing something pretty darn casual for me on a Saturday night because I am wiped out. We just spent the afternoon shopping Carmel, which was fabulous. Cannot wait to bring it to you on the blog and talk to you about all the great independents we found down there. So stay tuned for that. But I have some physical therapy that I've got to do later tonight. So, I'm not off the job. I'll be getting off of Facebook in a little bit and working on that. So now or then. I want to talk to you a little bit about my website. So it's just your basic website, not a big deal, but I've got it brought up here because there are a couple of things I want to point out. So when you go to the home page, this is what you're going to see. And then there's this little funny tab, it says Heidi's Haunts. And of course, that's nothing you're ever going to see on somebody else's website. It's just my little thing. And what it brings up are places connected by food, by fashion, and by stuff that I always rely on. And these are places that I check year-round, so I'm guaranteeing their quality in terms of what appeals to me. I put these here as a reminder that you have your own lists, and so be sure to think of those businesses when it's time to purchase something, and always make sure you're checking your favorites because you're the one that sustains them. And then there's this particular category here, it's called connectors, and you're going to see like a newspaper section here. And these are links to news articles that I find interesting and thought-provoking that help me think about how I am consuming goods and shopping. It'll also include some really fun shopping tips. And right now I'm featuring Shop Locally with the Niche app, which I've talked about at a previous wine time. But anyway, this is what you're going to find on connectors. And so we can draw it back this way, darling. This week, I just found a fun article about a raincoat that is made of algae. And so a lot of fashion designers are thinking about the way they're going to go forward and deal with sustainable goods, particularly with climate change. And so I think that's a really fun article. You'll find it on Connectors through Heidi's Haunts. While you're on the website, you will be prompted to or you'll be invited to join my email list, which is really, to me, the best way I can stay connected to you. So that way, if you're not a Facebook user every day or at all, or an Instagram user, or want to go on YouTube or whatever, you don't have to pay attention to all of it. I'm going to be in your inbox probably once a month. I'm not going to flood it. I absolutely think that content for content's sake is not what I'm about. I'm all about giving you quality. And so I'll give you the latest on what I think is most important, and it's a way that we can communicate. And so whatever happens with Facebook and Instagram and all of that, they're wonderful tools, but they're not our deepest connection, and they change all the time. So I think it's important to stay connected to you by email. So tonight we're going a little bit shorter because I want to talk about what I'm wearing. And if you guessed that this is now, you're right. You'll notice that this is a little take on the crop top for workout because I'm, a little bit older than probably a lot of you, and this is what works for my comfort level. And both pieces are made by Good Human, and Good Human is a wonderful line I found at Pinkadot Boutique, which I frequent. Hold on, I will frequent. Well, I'm tongue-tied at this point. I found them at Pinkadot in Davis. And I really like that boutique because it's just there and accessible to me in my hometown. But also they carry a variety of brands. And the owner, Shelly Ramos, is conscious about those brands that she's bringing to you. So Good Human is all about feeling good while doing good. and they have a lot of great collaborations with like Stand Up to Cancer and Buddha Bullying, and wonderful organizations that are out there doing right by the world. And the other thing they do is they're known for not just having nice quality fabrics and things that really last in the washing machine and what have you, but all of their pieces typically have a nice message on it. And so tonight I'm wearing Kind is Cool on top, and then on the leg, I don't know if you can see this, but the back of the leg it says reflect, restore, relax. And I absolutely love putting some messages on myself, especially when I'm working out, because the whole point of working out is to stay healthy in our minds and our bodies. And there's so much negativity out there in the world that why not just add a little bit of verbiage to your wardrobe? So think about Good Human. I found it at Pink-A-Dot, and the reason I'm wearing this tonight, not just for physical therapy, is that a very exciting event is happening in Davis tomorrow, and that is Shelly Ramos, who I mentioned, who owns Pink-A-Dot, is opening a new workout studio, very fun take on rowing. And so there's an entire studio that's devoted to rowing, and then to have interval strength training while you're there. And what's really neat about it is that the machines they have tanks that are filled with water, and then they will dim the lights, and the tanks of water will be fluorescent blue, and then up where the instructor is, there is this huge screen like a movie theater where you'll have different scenarios that you're rowing through, and it's absolutely beautiful. And imagine when you're working out in a place where the lights are dimmed, and when we're working out, classes can be a little bit challenging for some of us because we don't necessarily want to be seen by others, especially when we roll out of bed to get to the exercise class. So I love the idea of having that privacy with the lights down, and also just being in your own space and being reflective and kind of chilled out about it. But the reason Shelly opened that studio, or is opening tomorrow, is because she's aware that not everyone can do every kind of exercise that's out there. And so runners who can't run anymore, or folks who have a hard time with push-ups and can't really manage, down dog and yoga or whatever, there are options that you have available to you. And so I just encourage you to go out and feel good. Keep looking. So that's Power 10 in Davis. Then the last thing I wanted to talk about is I was reminded this week through Facebook, through some interesting exchanges about the negativity that's out there. And then I was relating it to small business. And I'm just out there a little bit, but small businesses put themselves out every single day. And what they're bringing to you is their version of their very best. And so imagine how exposed that must be and how brave they are to say, look, here's what I want to offer the community, and I hope you like what I have. And then also for customers who come in and have a complaint or are dissatisfied, who don't like what you have, they have to take all of that in. And so I just want to say, here's to you, small business owners, for going at it all the time and just being there to serve communities. We really need to respect you, and I hope that you folks who are viewing think about that, take that in, and just take a little extra measure to visit your local business. And so with that, I want to sign off and just say go forward. And I think it's Ellen DeGeneres who always signs off and says, be kind. That's what I want for this week. Cheers.